What's up, Richie Castellano here with another Line 6 Helix video. This one's all about updates and backups and all that fun stuff. So I have to do this for my own Helix units and I need to put the new software on it, and I figured I might as well document it while I'm doing it and maybe that'll help somebody else out. So let's get into it. We're going to start with my Helix rack. Here it is. It's hooked up to my computer via USB. So here's my computer. I know this is going to be a little low-tech today because I can't use my computer to record and do this update. So the first thing I'm going to do is load the Helix software. And what you want to do is you want to back up your sounds, okay? Back up your presets. You could save the individual sounds. You could save set lists. I export the bundle. That's how I do it. So here we go, export bundle. And just to show you guys, I have different folders for the different devices in different years because I like to have archives that are, pretty specific. So I already did this today. There's the bundle all saved and ready to go. An important thing to do that people forget about is the impulse responses. You need to remember what impulse responses you had in which slot, or else it will screw up all of your presets. So either write these down, which might be a pain. What I do is, I'll show you what I do. I have a folder here, impulse response folder, and in that folder I keep a screenshot of this whole little side column here with all the impulse responses, just so I know what goes where for later. So however you want to do it, this works for me. Just a quick note, something I wanted to mention before we move on. Aside from backing up the presets, another really helpful practice is to go to your global settings and sort of make note of how you have everything set up, because once you do the update, all of the global settings will be overridden. And that also includes how you have the global EQ set up. And you can see that up here in the editor. If you go to this tab, global EQ, I have it flat right now, but if you have like a specific global EQ setting that you rely on, make sure you either take a screenshot of it or write the values down that you see here, because this is going to go away after the update. Okay, so that's that. That's all good to go. So we're going to close that. We're all backed up. I'm going to go now to the Line 6 website. Okay, so you want to go to Downloads. And I do Helix Rack because that's what I'm installing. All software, Windows 7. Okay. So here we go. Editor 2.20 release notes. This is a firmware update that includes new amps. Okay, all that stuff. Good. You must follow these instructions. Shut down all Line 6 software. We just did that. I'm also going to unplug my Helix via USB, so I will show you me doing that. All right, that's unplugged. Use current existing Helix application to back up all your presets and IRs. I did that. Great. Quit the current existing Helix editor and download the latest Helix editor. Well, that's what we're downloading right now, right? Yeah, editor. Okay. This also installs the newest version of the Line 6 updater. That's cool. If you're using the Helix rack with Helix control, turn off Helix control. Well, there's that. I turned that off. The button's back here, by the way. So that's off. Great. Using the latest Line 6 updater, update the Helix rack to the newest firmware. At the end of the process, Helix rack will reboot automatically and begin rebuilding the presets. Wait for this process to complete. Okay. All right. I guess we'll do this first. We'll get the download, because that's going to update the updater as well. All right, we're good to go. Run. Okay, here we go. I'm closing everything else. All right, hitting next. Next. I agree. Next. Next. Install. Next. Sure. Okay. Now I'm going to use this Line 6 updater, which should be updated. I guess now I have to plug in the Helix, because it doesn't see it. All right, plugging it back in. Let's see if it shows up. Oh, there it is. This is what we want. Let me read this again. Okay, so I'm going to update this now. Alright, just to double check here, shut down all Line 6 software. Okay, everything's shut down. Great. Backed up. Quit the existing. Okay, good. Helix control is off. Okay, now we're doing this. Continue. Accept. Okay, here we go. Update in progress. And this is happening now on the actual Helix screen. So I'm going to pause here and come back when it's done. Alright, my Helix is done with the update. And now we have some on-screen instructions. Your Helix will now restart automatically, which it did. If you're using Helix control, connect it and power it on. So let's do that. It's connected. Let's power this on. We got a prompt here. Helix control must be updated. Update now? Yes. Okay. Starting update. Looks like that is good to go. Beautiful. Okay, so now we have to turn off the Helix. So I'll do that. Turning it off. Reset globals and restore presets. Okay. So on the rack, while holding knobs 5 and 6 just below the screen, turn, okay, so 5 and 6, so let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so I'll hold these two down, start it up, okay, here we go, we'll reset. So in order to get this to work properly, you have to reset the globals and the presets and everything, and then we have to restore it. It's finished. I have to go back and restore all my presets. So let's launch this again, the Helix editor. And okay. Oh, I have to quit everything else. Got it. So this is popping up because I still have the updater open. So continue. We'll shut this, X out of here. Okay. Now we'll open the Helix up again and hope that works. Awesome. So now I'm going to go back to user 1 and all my presets are gone, but that's not a huge deal because I'm going to do import bundle. This operation cannot be reverted. That's okay. I don't want it to be reverted. And here's my bundle that I made today, and it's going to import it now. All right, it looks like the restore is done. Let's check. Yeah, there's all my sounds. Fantastic. Okay, now if I go to impulses, these are empty. So that's what I'm going to use that little list I made before here. And I'm going to copy that. So to bring these back in, you hit import. And I will go to my impulses, which are here, I believe. And I'm going to carefully import them to match this list here. So, all right, let's see how we do this. Oh, if you're not sure how to load an impulse, I'll show you how to do it. It's very easy. All you do is you click on the empty slot. So here's one that's empty. And you hit import up here. And then you got to find where you store your impulses on your computer. And I have them here in this folder. And you can select multiple ones and they'll show up in a row in the right order there. So I know what the next ones that I want to load are. So I will put them in. I'm just looking at this list here that I made earlier, and I want the 57 number 6, that's the one I like. I want the 121 number 3. I'm just holding down control to highlight them together. And I want the 160 number 3. And I hit open and it imports all 3 of them at once. So there you go. And that's how you do it. So I'll come back once I've finished the entire list. Okay, so my impulses are all imported. That looks good. Presets, that looks great. Everything's as it should be. Yeah, the global EQ and all my settings have been overridden, but that's okay. It's nothing I can't get back. So as I mentioned earlier, it's a good idea to take a note of that. So that's it for this. Oops, that's it for, we'll just put that back. That's it for this. That's for the rack. So now I'm going to move on to the floor unit and do it there. Okay, now it's time to move on to the floor processor. So we got to do the same thing. Back it up, update it, everything. So the first step is going to be to connect this to the computer. All right, back on the computer, I will open up the Helix app, and there we go. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take a screenshot of this global EQ because I rely on it a lot with my floor unit. So I hit print screen. Now I'm going to open up Paint. I'll hit paste. Great. I really need the values down here. That's really the most important part. So copying that, crop that, and I will save this. Cool. All right, so that's saved. Now we can move on. Okay, now it's time to back up my Helix floor unit. So I'm going to go to Export Bundle. I have a folder here, Bundles, and I'll save it. I think I did one earlier today, so I'll delete that. And here we go, Bundle 4/21/2017, that's today. Save, and now it's going to back up the whole thing. All right, so that's done. Everything's backed up. Also, like I mentioned before, make sure you copy down or take a screenshot of your impulse responses and and very importantly, where each impulse response is saved, because that will mess up your presets if that's wrong. So now we're ready to rock with the rest of the update. So now I'm back on the line 6 page, and I put in Helix this time, and it looks like it's the same exact file for the Helix Rack and the Helix, the regular Helix floor unit. So I'm just going to run that same Helix updater because that should work for both. So here we go, line 6 updater. Sign in. Okay. And it detected it. There's version 2.20. And hit update. Continue. Accept. All right, now the update is in progress. Something interesting to point out is that this not only works for updating system software, but if you want to transfer your presets and settings from one Helix to another, the same principles apply. So this is what I had to do when I got the rack and I wanted all my floor unit presets on the rack. It's the same thing. As long as you have it saved as a bundle or as your individual presets or set lists or whatever, you can import that information to the new unit. What I do as an extra added precaution or safety protocol, whatever you want to call it, is I take those presets and those bundles and I save them to some sort of cloud storage, like a Dropbox or Google Drive or whatever you use, or iCloud. And what that does is now, no matter where I am, as long as I have access to a laptop, if somebody has a laptop and an internet connection, I can get my sounds back. So if I'm on the road somewhere, I can borrow our tour manager's laptop, download the Helix software, go to the cloud, grab my bundle, and be ready to go and be back in business, even if I have to go to the store and get a new Helix for whatever reason. So that's a really cool thing that you can do with these sort of bundles and file saves. So maybe that'll help somebody. All right, the Helix floor unit is updated, so now let's do the post-update procedures. It restarted, it did all that already. Okay, so now I have to turn off the Helix. Okay, turning it off. While holding foot switches 9 and 10, the middle two on the bottom row, so I guess it's these two, turn on the Helix. Okay. Good. So now it says, will reset globals and restore stock presets, set lists, and IRs. That's what we want to see. So that's done. Now it says, using the latest Helix editor application, restore the user presets, blah, blah, blah. Okay, we can do that. So let's close this. Open the Helix editor back up. Let's go back to my user one, and that should be empty, and it is. Going to import bundle. Yes. I don't care if it's you can't revert. Go back to my Helix 2017 folder, bundles. Here's the one I just did. Open. So now it's going to take a little bit, and I'll get back to you. That restore is finished. Let's check. Looks good. Everything looks right. Great. Okay, now I have to do the impulses. So we're going to repeat the process we did before. You just click, you do import. You got to go to the folder where you have them. And here are mine. and import the ones you want. And that's done. Okay, the other thing I did before was I went over to the global EQ and I took a picture, and that's very important for me and for the way I have the Helix configured, that I have this correct global EQ setting. So I'll go back to the folder I have it saved in, and here is the photo. So now I have to match that, and I'm just going to enter it manually. So I have another screen here, I don't know if you can see. So I'm going to copy the settings off there and just read them and do it that way, and I can enter them in manually. So now I'm back in business. I had one setting I have to change, and that's global EQ, apply EQ, because I only do this to the XLR because I use the XLR output for my stage monitor and not front of house, and I like to have the global EQ on that only. Alright, so now that everything is back to the way it should be, there's one more update I want to make. So I'm going back to that downloads page here, and this is all good. Now I'm going to go to the Workbench HD. So I'm going to hit download, accept and download. Okay, I will run this. Next, next, I agree. Cool. So let me check the Workbench, make sure that's updated too. Cool. Yep, that looks good. So that's it. I'm all updated. All my units are good to go, ready to rock. Thank you very much for watching. I hope this was helpful to somebody. And if you see something or saw something that I did stupidly or I could have done better, please let me know, because I learned the most stuff from YouTube comments and from the Facebook group and all that stuff. So thank you very much. And I hope this helped, and I hope you liked it.
Thanks for watching this video. To see even more videos, make sure you subscribe to this channel. If you'd like to interact with me on social media, please follow my Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram accounts. If you like podcasts, check out my show Band Geek on the Riotcast Network. For tour dates and even more info, go to richiecastellano.com. Now, here's a video I picked just for you. I think you'll like it. Go ahead, click it. It's good. Eh?